What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today we'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy B with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So here we have the daily chart for MSTR, and we're consolidating near the highs of this move up or this uptrend that we are inside of right now. Not an all-time high yet, but at the top of the uptrend that we have seen develop since early April. So we're just consolidating near the highs, letting the price or the market digest the move that we just had. So overall, this is still showing signs of strength. This is a good sign. Consolidation is a good thing at the top of a move, especially when there's still a lot of room left. We have this nice uptrend channel in play, and we have a measure move target in play as well. So the channel is it looks to be confirmed because we have 3 touches in the bottom, 2 touches on the top. So it looks like this is the the pattern that price will most likely move in. And if we look for a measure move up, has not changed at all. Still right around the prior all-time high of about 550s. As you can see here, 553, give or take a couple dollars. So it looks like we're targeting the prior all-time high. Most likely we're going to see a break of that. And that's also targeting the top side of this channel. That's channel rules. If we hit one side, we go to the other side. If we hit one side, we go to the other side. So most likely price is working its way to the top side of the channel, which exactly is where the measurement target is at. And that's pretty much where the prior all-time high is at as well. So there's a lot of intersecting points meeting at this zone right here, about 550. So expecting price to get there. Maybe not obviously this week. I think sometime maybe by the end of the month, early August, we should get there. Unless something drastically happens in the market. I think this is a good reminder to go over that you need to have the correct mindset to handle these moves down and moves up as well. For example, if you're going to be a millionaire one day, you have to have the millionaire mindset first. If you don't, then you're going to lose the $1,000,000 because you're going to believe in your subconscious that you're not worth it. You're not worth $1,000,000, or you should not have $1,000,000. Or there's something wrong with having $1,000,000. So, just because I say, MSTR can go to $4,000, you have to be prepared for that. Like, what if it does? Are you prepared for that? Do you have, multiple bank accounts you can hold your cash in, or do you have an exit plan in place? People don't think about those things. Or let's say it doesn't get there. It's not guaranteed. No one knows the future with certainty. We can make predictions and use models. And yes, this high probability for things happening more than other situations. But let's say it doesn't. Let's say we have top right now. So what is your exit plan? What are you going to do? Do you have that in place? Because anything can happen in the market. I'm just saying this obviously still a high probability we go much higher than where we are right now. But let's just say it does. Are you prepared for that? So it's a good reminder to be open and not have a fixed mindset to certain prices or even certain times as well. Because if you have these expectations and they don't happen, it's going to lead to disappointment. So MSTR still tracking for higher prices, looking for a new all-time high shortly, probably by the end of the month, early August, based on historical trend or historical momentum. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Maybe it just takes longer. But that's all I see on the daily chart. It's not much else to talk about except consolidating at the highs of the move. Most likely, we're going to see a move up higher. If we do break down lower, I wouldn't say it's the end of the world. We can probably just pull back to the 420s, find support, and then move up higher. You just don't want to see something drastically shift in the market, like a huge spike down like this. That's not a good sign. It doesn't mean it's over because sometimes you could see a spike back up. So that's how the market can trick you. You can't have a super fixed mindset. If we invalidate this trend line, it's not 100% guarantee we go down lower either. Because shorts are thinking the same thing. They're thinking, okay, well, I don't think MSTR is going to go to 550, so I'm going to short it at a high price. Or they keep on shorting it. They short it at 1,000. They short it at 2,000. They keep on saying to themselves, it's not going to go to 4,000. So it works in the opposite way too. You can't have the fixed mindset that it's guaranteed to do something. So that's all I wanted to cover on MSTR on the daily chart. Let's take a look at Bitcoin's chart. Bitcoin more or less is the same thing. It's consolidating near the highs of the move. Looks like it's trying to get back into the 120s and then probably back up to reach the 130s. There's a measure move target at 136. So we are inside these two channels. The larger one is not confirmed. We only have 2 touches on the bottom and 1 on the top. But this short-term trend line or short-term channel is confirmed. So price is working its way up in that short-term channel. As you can see here, we hit the top, corrected. Now we're still trying to work our way up. And you can see the shorts are probably assuming that, oh man, we got to pull back to the breakout zone. We got to pull back to retest it and then move up higher. No, it doesn't work like that. If you entered short and you're predicting that to happen, you could be in for a rude awakening when price just rockets up past you to make a new high. So it's not guaranteed we go down either to a certain level. You just have to watch it. You watch the price action, you watch the market participants, you watch it how it develops, and then you go from there. So you have to be like in the moment, you could say. You have to be live, focus on the live action. So right now it looks still pretty strong. We're basically near the all-time highs, consolidating with a lot of room left to the upside. This is looking pretty good. Let's go back to MSTR. Here's MSTR's chart. So most likely we're going to close right around probably the 450s or 450s probably by the end of the week. On the log scale, we can look at the weekly chart. While the drawings so far, we're slightly off the high, just a little weekly candle. So see how this develops. But overall, trend is very nice. This could take a little bit longer than people think, and don't think Bitcoin has to top at the end of this year like it normally does in its 4-year cycle. And doesn't mean the cycle is broken either. It could have some tolerance of give or take a couple of months. The longer your prediction is, the more higher tolerance you should give your prediction. So if I'm predicting a couple days to a certain price, for example, let's say I think price is going to get to 500 by the end of the month. Well, give or take about a week, right? If it's a month, give it about a week. If it's several months, give it a couple weeks. If it's a year, give it a month. If it's several years, give it a couple months. So you see the tolerance just increases as time goes on. So just because, a lot of people are saying 4-year cycle, end of this year for Bitcoin, it tops at whatever price it is. I don't really believe in that. We can continue much higher, and it could take a lot longer as well. So in this case, that also applies for MSTR. We don't have to top out towards the end of the year. It could, fall into Q1 and Q2 of next year. This is a very different trend, obviously, than the prior bull market. This is completely different as of right now. You can see how this was more of an exponential move up higher like this. It just continued to accelerate higher and higher, more vertical. But look at this one. This is still kind of moving at a nice staircase type of fashion. So this is more structured. This can last a lot longer. This is more healthy. And this is a good sign too. I don't want to see the exponential move right now. It can happen right now, but it'd be better if it happens later. Let's say we go to $1,000 first, moving at this staircase fashion, and then we have the exponential move up higher. That would be better than just getting it really early on in a trend, because whatever goes up really quick, can go down really quick as well. Whatever can last, whatever goes up, in a short amount of time, can go down in a short amount of time as well. So this is definitely a more healthy structured trend that can last a lot longer, meaning we're probably not going to see a big crash like we did in the prior cycle for MSTR. From high to low, I think it was about 90%. High to low, it was 89% or 90%, you could say. I don't think we're getting a 90% crash with this type of structure that we're seeing. We haven't even seen the blow off top yet. So if it goes to 4,000, hypothetically speaking, let's say it goes to $4,000, which is right around here, and it crashes to where we are right now, that's an 88% drop. But again, this trend is a little bit more structured than the other one. So I don't think it's going to drop that much. Maybe it drops 80%, maybe 75, which will bring it to $1,000. So maybe $1,000 was when we see the exponential move up higher. Just like how this came back to where it was more structured. So you can see that if I draw a line across the breakout zone where it went bananas, which was right about here. And look what happened. Price came right back to that banana zone where it started. So it was consolidating sideways. We went exponential, came right back to where it started, where it broke out. So what I'm saying is that the longer this continues in the staircase fashion, the lower the drop will be in the future, most likely, because it's more structured. If we have the blow off top at 1,000, then that's probably where price will come back to and reset for potentially, the next move up higher in the future. So let's see how this develops. But that's all I have for MSTR. Bitcoin, things are still looking pretty good. And another thing I want to mention is that when you're trading, I think, anybody who enters the market is trading. I don't care if you call yourself an investor. That's still a trade. And when you enter the market with the buy order or whatever order you use, you are in the market as a participant. It doesn't matter if you call yourself a trader or investor. I think an investor is just a long-term trader because at the end of the day, you most likely you're going to sell. And if you're not going to sell, you're going to trade it for something. Either you're going to take out a loan against your equity or whatever, but you're still trading. You're doing something for something else. So that's a trade. Um, so if you enter the marketplace as a trader, you need to have that mindset as a trader as well. It doesn't matter if you're long term, you call yourself an investor, or you're just a long term trader. And if things happen that you expected to happen, it shouldn't be overly excited. So let's say we do hit $4,000 that I've been predicting for like months now. It shouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe it actually hit it. I can't believe it actually hit it. I didn't think it was going to get there. No, you can't have that attitude. Be like, okay, well, I did my analysis. It finally it did what I expected, and I'm satisfied. You don't have to be like all happy and stuff. It did what it did. Now, let's say it doesn't happen, and the same thing would happen in reverse as well. If it doesn't happen, you shouldn't be so down on yourself. Oh, I was expecting to get here and it didn't get here. Now, like, my my thing is over. It's all over. Whatever. No, you can't be overly emotional about these things. You can't be like your emotions be spiking up and down like this. Keep it, pretty neutral like this. So if it does reach a level that we expect to reach, $4,000, it should be like, okay, good. It finally reached something that we expected. If it doesn't, it should be like, okay, good. Well, it didn't do what we expected. It wasn't guaranteed to get there anyway. So it's not going to be like a huge shock to your emotional state. So if it gets to the target that we're expecting, that's good. If it doesn't, that's good too. You have a plan in place for that. But as right now, it's something to keep in mind that professional traders, they're not so emotional. They're gonna be if they in a winning trade and they win, they're not like, oh yes, finally I won. They're just like, okay, cool, I won. Let's go to the next one. If they lose, they're like, okay, let's go to the next one. It doesn't affect their emotional state. Same thing for MSTR reaching a certain level or not reaching a certain level or whatever. So that's all I have for MSTR on the daily weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.